Hi, this is Steve Otnet here, and I wanted to give you a quick walkthrough of my exit slip. This is a service that myself and my wife, Autumn Otnet, have been working on over the last 6 to 8 months, sort of off and on. And really, we're building it out to be a platform to allow for quick formative assessments to be issued out to your students and to really collect that feedback quickly and easily using SMS or text messages here. Um, we're pretty passionate about the fact that we're using text messages here versus some other platforms that we've seen that use native apps on either iOS or Android. A lot of kids don't have access to data. A lot of kids don't have access to smartphones, but almost all of them, in some way, shape, or form, have access to sending a text message. So we feel like this provides much more equitable access to kids in general, and also opens us up to different markets where the ability for every student to have data might not be there. So we're here at myexitslip.com. We're just here looking at the homepage. You can read a little bit about it, some quick marketing messaging there, nothing too in depth. I'll go ahead and log in as a teacher though, so we can get into the real meat of the product. So I go ahead and log in and I land here. Now as a teacher, this is more or less my dashboard. I can view the recent exit slips or exit tickets that I've sent out to my classes. I can click into each one of these and I can read the responses from my students. I can rate them. I can see when they responded, as well as how many out of my class, what kind of progress am I getting, all those sorts of statistics there. But we'll go ahead and start from scratch just so you can see the process and kind of observe how students are onboarded here as well. So to start as a teacher, you'll want to go into the classes tab here, and this will be a list of all the classes that you've made. I've already gone ahead and stubbed out a class here without any students called Steve's ELA class. And down below here, we provide a sort of short URL to allow your students, if they do have internet or data access in your classroom, to allow the students to come in and sign up for your class on their own. We're not requiring that teachers go in and input every student's name and phone number. In fact, in some cases, we might not even want teachers to handle their phone numbers. So we definitely provide this as a page that the student can go to and elect to join your class. So, in the scenario where you've written this up on the whiteboard, your students will come in and see this very simple page here. There's almost no information besides what class I'm joining. I'll go ahead and join this class first. And click Join Class. Now, as a student, I've just gone to this page, I've signed up, and I'm now subscribed to any of the exit slips or exit tickets that my teacher might be sending to me. So that's the student onboarding flow there, pretty simple. But I'll go ahead and go back to my classes here so I can show the teacher interface to that process as well. So here we see my class again, Steve's ELA class. I do have one student that it knows about at the moment. I can go in and view my membership. So I can view the student, the phone number, the average score I've given them if I choose to score their exit slips. As well as the lockout button in case students are either abusing the service, responding with inappropriate things, or maybe students leave halfway through the class and you don't want to send them exit tickets anymore, exit slips anymore, but you also don't want to lose their responses. You want to keep those responses around to be able to analyze them later. You can choose to lock them out. You can also add students individually as a teacher, so we're not reliant on kids having data in the classroom in order to be able to sign up for this. You can also add them manually. So I'll go ahead and add Autumn down here at the bottom right now. And add student. So I have a couple of kids in my class now. We'll assume, for the sake of this demo, that that's my entire class. And now I want to go and start sending them exit slips. So the first thing I'll do is go in and actually build the question that I want to send them. So I'll come into my questions. They're reusable, so you can send them to multiple classes without having to retype them in each time. I'll go ahead and create a new question. And let's go ahead and put something like this in. we'll keep it on topic. What is one flaw from the Articles of Confederation? Create my question. So you can see immediately it's entered into my library of questions here, and now it's ready for me to use to send out a new exit slip and to get my feedback from my students on this question. So to do that, you simply come in and create a new exit slip. So this button is always present here in the top bar. It's also present on a couple of other pages as well, where it sort of makes sense contextually. And you land at the send an exit slip page. We tried as hard as possible to keep this very simple and streamlined. This tool is intended for classroom use, so the simpler the better, the easier to understand the better, and certainly the quicker the better. We know how time crunched teachers are, especially nearing the end of the period here. So go ahead and select the class I want to send it to, Steve's ELA class, which is the one that we just joined, Autumn and myself. And what question do I want to send this class? And I want to ask them about the flaws in the Articles of Confederation. So now I have a couple of options. I can either send it immediately. This would be the scenario where a teacher is sitting down at the end of the period at his or her desk and wants to send one of these out, or I can actually schedule this to be sent at the end of a period when I know the time I want it to send out. So what that would allow for is a teacher to come in and queue up all of these exit slips at the beginning of a day, and those will roll out automated throughout the day, so that they don't have to worry about getting back to their desk and setting all this up. But for the sake of this demo, we'll go ahead and send it immediately and click send. So you can see it spawned up a new exit slip there. I don't know if you heard the ding in the background. That was Autumn's phone just receiving the text message. And this is actually a live dashboard. So as we send these out, we're going to see the responses come back live as people are responding, which could be pretty cool if you want to save yourself a few minutes at the end of the period, maybe to answer questions that people are too embarrassed to ask, or maybe just to gather that feedback to prepare for your next class. And you can already see that Autumn sent her response there, just sort of as I was talking through that, and I just actually handed her my phone, and she'll be responding on my behalf here in a few seconds. You notice also that you're getting kind of a live update here, kind of highlighting the latest responses. So Autumn said no national court system in here, and that showed up, as well as her response down here below. So if you had a class of 25, 30 students, you'd see the most recent ones here up top, kind of flowing in, in real time as they're happening, as well as a total log of them, if you will, down below here in the responses column, responses section. You also have the ability to come in and rate these. Now this is a feature you don't have to use as a teacher, and there was mine. She responded on my phone, sitting right next to me here. 9 out of 13 colonial ratification pieces of legislation, i.e. supermajority. So that's a really good response. Obviously, Steve Ottenad understands this topic and this material. So I'll go ahead and give him a 4. And you can see that our average score begins to calculate here. We have 2 responses. One of them has a 0 and one of them has a 4. So our average is reflected there. You also saw this wheel filling up as our classroom responds. So I think Autumn, that's a pretty good response. I'll go ahead and rate Autumn a 3, and we can go ahead and watch our average score change there as well. And so in this way, you can quickly and easily, syndicate out a question and receive those responses in a very quick fashion. And some of the real value is coming in the fact that these are permanently cataloged. So these aren't sticky notes that you need to transcribe into Excel, or a slip that you need to hang on to for a long time. We're hoping that by keeping these in a standardized place, it makes for the analysis of this, it makes it a lot easier, and it should make it especially easier after the fact to come in and look these up in a nice clean format. The last thing you'll see after you've sent out an exit slip is that the statistics for that class actually come through as well. So if we come in here and look, we can see that Steve has an average score of a 4.0, Autumn has an average score of a 3.0. And so, if you choose to rate things, you can watch those change over time, and you certainly can, view students' progression through the year, and make sure that you're getting the correct analysis there. So that's sort of the long and short of exit slips. It's a fairly simple tool, but it was designed with that simplicity in mind. We feel it's valuable to teachers, and we really hope it would be a kind of another tool in their arsenal to make sure that they're doing formative assessments correctly. It's really built to enable that, so that they can, not only easily collect them, but also easily provide proof that they collected them and proof that they analyzed them down the road without having to sort through a pile of Post-its or anything like that. So we're pretty proud of it. We're still working on it. So we're definitely open to new ideas and improvements and things like that. But it's been a pretty fun trip so far, and we're proud of it. So thanks for taking a look. And if you have any questions, please direct them at Autumn, and she can help you out. So thank you very much.